Good evening, Everblades fans, and welcome back to Hertz Arena Canadian night with the Greenville Swamp Rabbits back in the building, taking on the Florida Everblades. These teams met up on Wednesday, and that ended up in a 3-0 Greenville victory. Dryden McKay, the star of the show, with 38 saves on 38 shots for his second shutout of the season. Over the last two meetings between these two clubs, McKay has 85 saves on 87 shots against, so he's just been superb against Florida. The Everblades did a lot of good things in that game on Wednesday, had plenty of grade A opportunities, particularly in the second period, to try and come back, but they fell behind early. Bryce Brodzinski scoring an early mark, followed up later in the period by Carter Savoy, and with that lead, the Swamp Rabbits just focused in on their defense, shut down the middle of the ice in their own zone, made it very hard for Florida to get in there, and the times that they did, Dryden McKay was there to make the save. So the Blades, looking at the game tape from Wednesday, there were good things, but there needs to be some improvement. One area of focus is going to be the power play. It went 0 for 4 on Wednesday, and it also came up empty in the matchups against the Orlando Solar Bears last Saturday and Sunday. So in the same way the Blades have lost their last three matchups, the power play has come up empty in all three of those games. So Florida looking to get their man advantage working the right way. On the other side of things, the Everblades very disciplined. It wasn't a very chippy game, not a lot of nastiness that we saw, especially against the Solar Bears and the Ghost Pirates in the last two series. Florida only had to kill off one penalty and able to do so pretty successfully, so keeping that going can help get a win tonight. And hopefully, like Wednesday, won't have to do too much work, allows the coaching staff to roll the lines more frequently and more evenly if they don't have to keep putting out the PK guys onto the ice and having them get tired out. For the Everblades lineup tonight, no Gary Hayden, the second player from the Everblades this season following David Tendick and going overseas, so we won't be seeing Gary Hayden again this year, unfortunately. He's off to the German second-tier league, and it's a big loss for the Everblades, no doubt about that, with 13.6 goals, 7 assists in just 16 games this season with the Everblades. He was one of the most reliable contributors offensively for Florida, but that's just something that happens throughout the course of a season. Guys go away, guys get injured, come out of the lineup, and Florida this year has done a really good job of balancing that and having guys step up. So tonight, guys coming back into the lineup like Craig Needham, Ben Brar, they're going to have to get right back to work. Both of them were healthy scratches on Wednesday. They've been playing really good hockey leading into this matchup tonight, and they're just going to have to get right back playing the way they were before they came out of the lineup. So the Everblades coming off that loss on Wednesday, facing off with a Greenville team that's on a 3-game winning streak, very desperate for points right now. They sit 16 points behind the Orlando Solar Bears for the final playoff spot in the South Division, but they have 8 games in hand, which conveniently, if they win them all, works out to 16 points. So it's a team that still has control over their own destiny, but they need every point they can get. So it's going to be another tough matchup tonight for the Everblades, and if they're going to want to win, then they're going to need to follow our direct effects 3 keys to the game. First off, finding that first goal. Greenville did that on Wednesday, found it very early, and even though eventually Florida started to widen the gap on the shot count and control puck possession, Greenville operating from a 2-goal lead, that made that less of a concern. They were able to focus in on their defense, particularly with how locked in Dryden McKay was on Wednesday. So tonight, Florida finding that first goal. We've seen how great they are when they play with a lead. So they want to do that instead of having to chase the game. They've done it before, come back, but it's not a consistent recipe for success. Second off, controlling the slot at both ends of the ice. Defensively, both of Greenville's early goals came when they got guys in towards the danger areas, into the slot, and were able to bash a puck home. So keeping those guys away from those areas important. And then at the other ice, you want to do the exact opposite. You want to get into those areas. Florida, they got some chances in there, but Greenville, as the game went along, particularly in the third period, was able to close it up and make it difficult for Florida to get into there. So the Everblades have got to find ways to get into those dangerous areas and get the kind of chances that almost went into the net on Wednesday, get them into the net tonight, and then finally making sure passes are tape to tape. That was a big focus for Florida yesterday in practice. There was an up-tempo practice, lots of speed, moving the puck on the fly and connecting those passes a number of times, rush opportunities, tip chances in the slots, passes just a little bit off, but that's all that they need to be in order for a rush to die or a chance to go wide of the net instead of into the back of the net. So the Everblades have put a big focus in on making sure the passes are tape to tape tonight to try and get another win. It's Canadian night. 17 members of the Everblades roster and both our head coach and assistant coach come from north of the border. So an exciting night ahead at Hertz Arena. Stick with us, fans. Warm-ups and puck drops coming up next.